Hey guys, welcome to the first ever full-length YouTube video on the Full Beans Industries channel, and today we're going to get cracking on this Triumph Street Triple. The Triumph Street Triple is a motorcycle manufactured by the company since 2006, and it continues to be manufactured until this day. This particular example is a third generation 2013 Triumph Street Triple R, which includes beefed up suspension and brakes above the standard model. This model makes 105 brake horsepower and has a 675cc inline-3 engine that sounds the business. Take a listen for yourself. Now, this example of a Street Triple is already pretty heavily modified. We have a mono headlight conversion and a dash relocation kit, Lighttech clip-ons, T-Rex frame sliders, OEM plus case guards all around. We have this Black Widow slip-on, sounds rad. This custom seat done by a friend of mine. If you want a seat that looks like this, leave a comment and I'll connect you guys up. And the remnants of a bracket for a cargo carrier. Last but not least, we can't forget the very cool but also very rusty quick shifter, as well as these billet rear sets. This fairing set is by Tony Scott Motorsport, and he includes everything you need to make your Naked Street Triple a fully faired aerodynamic weapon. There's a catch though. Because these are track fairings, they don't have any provisions for street legal lighting, headlights, taillights, turn signals, or a license plate mount. So we're gonna have to make those all custom and yet hidden so it doesn't ruin the look of these rad fairings. Before we worry about all that though, we gotta get the old girl part, see what we're working with. Because as with all good things, there are no instructions. The basic plan of attack here is just going to be removing anything that's going to interfere with the new plastics. So all the old plastics, frame sliders, mono headlight, dash relocation kit, get it bare so we have clean slate to make sure that all the Tony Scott brackets mount up and kind of get a game plan for where everything's going to go. that side done, then we'll do the other side. Alrighty, 2 hours and a couple rough transitions later, and here we are. We have all of the bodywork off, so it's the bare subframe and frame. All the lighting and accessories is off, so we can figure out exactly how the new fairings are going to fit. I just left the tail light on to see if we can still use the stock one. I would prefer to because it's nice and safe, and I know that the bulb in there is bright, unlike some of the cheap LED eBay ones, but here we are. So we're going to unbox the fairings, take a sneak peek. We're not going to mock them up in this video, but at least I'll have it exploded on the floor, so we'll kind of have an idea of it going on the bike. Quick detour before we do the fairings. I just wanted to say, if you're taking apart a bike, especially if it's not familiar to you, the best way that I've found to keep everything organized is go by right and left. And for all the hardware, I call them tails, but I take some gaff tape and I make some tails around where the bolts came off. That way it all stays together and I know exactly which bolt goes where. So when I put the bike back together, it lines up easy peasy, and I don't have to worry about hardware that looks similar, looks the same, or threads being too long or too short, because it's all exactly where it needs to be. Here's all the fairings exploded out on the floor. We have our central main fairing, our fairing stay, our belly pan, and our seat right there. And all I can say, guys, is you can't really see it a lot now because it's this black color, so it hides a lot of the lines and the details. But with the ram air intake and how this thing is streamlined, it's going to look absolutely insane. So stay tuned for the next episode because we're going to button this puppy up and get a good mock-up going.